Let me start by saying this. I have a lot of views about this country, and very strongly held views, honestly held opinions, which have been formed over a period of time based on what I've experienced and based on what I've seen. But the conclusion I've come to after many years and months of pondering and speaking and talking is this: that at the end of the day, war is not the best. Peace is the only way forward. And we must not be driven by emotion. I'll be very brief because the keynote address is about to be presented by my friend and brother, represented by his SSG, but peace is the way forward, not war. And I've had the privilege of interaction with many, many people in different parts of this country who have different views, diametrically opposed views. I never deny my friends, through thick and thin. No matter what they're accused of doing, no matter what they have done, I never deny them. And I have friends across the board. Some are close to government, some are opposed to government, but I'll never deny them. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu is my friend. We may not agree on everything. We have disagreed on many things, but he has always been my friend since I met him in Kuje prison. Yes, Sunday Igboho is my friend. I've interacted with him closely, and we have worked together with various governors in this country to keep the peace and to ensure that the food embargo was lifted and lives were saved when we were in a situation that was critical and could have led to many, many deaths. And I have to commend the initiative of President Buhari at that time, because he set that in motion and it came out as a good success for the whole country. And of course the embargo was lifted. I have friends across the board. I have friends like Dr. Abdullahi, the president of the Northern Consensus Forum, who believes that, well, he has very strong views about the North, and he spoke about the North determining the future of this country forever, and spoke about millions of votes in the North, which upset a lot of people in the South. But he is my friend, a very good friend at that. And I will not deny him. And he believes in what he believes. We may disagree, but we remain friends. The bottom line is this: no matter what our differences has been in the past, no matter how much we have killed one another in this country, no matter how much injustice we have visited upon one another, because if you want to talk about injustice, ladies and gentlemen, it goes both ways, depending on how far back you go in history. Some have suffered more than others. I've always spoken about the suffering of the people of the East, and I have no regret for that. I've also spoken about the sufferings of the minorities, so-called minorities in the North. I have no apology for that. Today I speak about the suffering of those in the core North, many, hundreds of thousands, that are slaughtered by foreign Fulani herdsmen that come through our borders and kill for no good cause. They are suffering too. And of course, the people of the Southwest, where I come from originally, forests surrounded by these same foreigners, and our people are being killed. So you see killings all over the place. But that does not mean that we should allow this to push us to the brink of war. Because the minute you start demonizing a tribe or a faith or a people and say they are to blame for everything we're going through, forgetting that it's far more complicated than that. We've all done it in the past. I've done it too. But it really is far more complicated than that. There are people in the North, and I've lived here since 2003, that are suffering and that have been the object of barbarity as much as anybody in the South today. That is the reality that we have to face. There are Hausa Fulanis that are being slaughtered all over Zamfara State, Katsina, Sokoto, just as there are people being slaughtered in the Southeast, the Southwest, the Middle Belt, and elsewhere. We are all going through this. And those that are doing it are not doing it in the name of their faith. They're not doing it in the name of their tribe. They're not doing it in the name of anything or anyone other than pure terror. To terrorize, to destroy, to divide, to cause us to begin to hate one another and then eventually turn guns on one another, and then our country is dismembered, is destroyed, and we for the next 50 years kill one another. May God never let that happen by God's grace. So what is the challenge today? And I'll be very brief. The challenge is simple. Seek your brother. Seek him out. Those that share your values, your value for humanity, your value for peace, your value for understanding and bridge building. Many have attacked me and called me names for constantly talking about bridge building. Well, if I don't talk about it, I don't know who will, because I've spoken hard over the years against those that I perceive to be the enemies of my people. And I've spoken what I believe to be the truth. But when it gets to a point that that truth is being misconstrued as a license for violence and a license for division, then we have to stop. And we have to start understanding that there are two sides to every story. And I have absolutely no apology for that. Today the message is simple. Peace. That is the message. And understanding. And what is the future for our country? The future is simple. No matter what has happened over the last 60 years, no matter what happened in our civil war, no matter what has happened over the last 6 years, or 10 years, or since 1999, or whenever, what is important to us today is what will happen as from 2023 onwards. And in order for us to understand that the only way that we can keep this country one is to ensure that we have a man that will emerge as our next president who has the respect and trust of not just Hausa Fulani people, or Yoruba people, or Igbo people, or people from the Middle Belt, or whatever, but has the trust of every single Nigerian, a bridge builder who believes in the unity of this country, who believes in equity, in fairness, and in peace, and somebody that's prepared to risk all to ensure that justice is done to all. To those that say the country must break and the country essentially has already broken, I'll say this. Nigeria, as we speak today, is one. And if we can get it right, the correct leadership, perhaps some restructuring, understanding, and bridge building, if we can do just that and ensure that the injustices of the past are addressed like good, decent, righteous men and women, if we can do that, then Nigeria shall continue to remain one. And that has to be the prayer. That has to be the way forward. We do not break simply for the sake of breaking, because let me tell you, to break today will be a matter of war. Yes, I believe in self-determination. Yes, I believe in equity and justice and fairness. But it is not true to say that we do not have leaders that will eventually emerge in this country that do not have the same belief. And with that belief, we can make this country work. We can pull back from the brink with understanding and love, forgiveness. Yes, people suffered. Yes, 3 million people were killed during the Civil War. Yes, our own, on the other side, the Nigerian side, hundreds of thousands were killed as well, which is something we hardly ever talk about. We killed each other. We maimed each other. We hurt each other. We insulted each other. But how long will this go on for? And we need to put in that power, that strength, that rage into saying, fine, it has happened in the past. Let's draw the line and let's have a new beginning. And let's say that as brothers, as compatriots, as lovers of this country, of the green, white, green, that we can make this country work. Indeed, we must make this country work. And we must go forward together and be our brother's keeper. May God guide us. May God be with us. And may God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's a round of applause that